Welcome to the next session of object-oriented programming using C++. In today's lecture, we will see the different types of inheritance other than the single inheritance. In the last lecture, we learned what is inheritance, what are the different advantages of inheritance, how we can create a new class from an already existing class in C++. We also saw how we can implement the single inheritance, how we can overcome the problem of function overriding, and also we learned how the constructor and destructor functions are called with the help of inheritance. So in this lecture, we will see the other four types of inheritances other than the single inheritance. To begin with, we will start with multi-level inheritance. Now, what is a multi-level inheritance? If a class is derived from another derived class, then it is called the multi-level inheritance. So it is an extension of the single level inheritance. In single level inheritance, there was one base class and one derived class. But in case of multi-level inheritance, the derived class in the middle acts as an intermediate class, which is again used as the base class to derive another class. So indirectly, the class C is derived from the class B and A. So here we have multiple levels, whereas in single inheritance, there was only one level. So you can even extend the C class to derive another class named D. So you can have any number of levels inside the multi-level inheritance. So now we will see how we can actually implement the concept of multi-level inheritance. So here we will create three classes. The class at the top is called the base class, from where we will derive the intermediate class named middle. And then the middle class will be derived by the class bottom. So let's have a look into the program very carefully. So here you can see this is the definition of the class top. And a constructor function has been defined inside this class, and a message has been displayed using the cout statement top base class. Then we have defined the class middle, which will act as the intermediate class. The middle class publicly inherits the top class. Another constructor function has been defined inside the middle class, which is used to display the message intermediate base class. And then the third and the last class named bottom has been defined right here. The bottom class is derived publicly from the middle class. And similarly, a constructor function has been defined inside the bottom class. The message displayed inside the constructor is bottom derived class. If you look at the hierarchy very carefully, the bottom class is derived from the middle class, and the middle class is derived from the top class. Now, if we create the object of the bottom class, it will inherit the features of both the middle and the top class. Now, let's have a look at the small snapshot of the code given in the main function. Here we have created the object of the bottom class. The name of the object is obj. And when we create the object of the obj class, it will inherit the features of all the three classes. Because we have also used the constructor function in the three classes, if you recall from the last lecture, the constructor of the base class is called first and then the constructor of the derived class. So once you create the object of the bottom class, the constructor of the top class will be executed first. So what will be the output The first line to be displayed in the output screen will be top base class. The second line to be displayed in the output screen will be intermediate base class. And the last line that will be displayed in the output screen is bottom derived class. So this was a little snapshot of how we can implement the concept of multi-level inheritance. You can pick up a real life problem to create the multi-level inheritance and implement the same in the lab. The next is hierarchical inheritance. This is just like a tree or a hierarchy structure, an organizational structure that you see. What is the definition of a hierarchical inheritance? Hierarchical inheritance means when multiple classes are derived from a single base class. So you have a single base class and you have more than one derived class from that. So which means that more than one derived classes are directly inherited from a single base class. The important word here is direct inheritance. There is no other level in between. As you can see in the figure very carefully, the derived class 1, derived class 2 and derived class 3, all the three have been directly inherited from the base class. So now we will have a look at the program to implement the concept of multiple inheritance. So here is an example of how we can implement the hierarchical inheritance. In hierarchical inheritance, we will have one base class and we will derive multiple classes from the single base class. So the program actually begins by defining the single base class. As you can see here, this is the definition of the single base class. A constructor of the base class which will display the message base class. Now we are going to derive one class directly from the base class, and this is the definition of the first derived class. It is publicly inheriting the base class, and the constructor inside the class displays derive one class. In this program, another derived class is defined here which directly inherits the base class, as you can see here, and a constructor is again used to display the message derived to class. As you can see right at the bottom, in the main function, two objects have been created. The first object belongs to the class derived 1 and the second object belongs to the class derived 2. Now what will happen when you create the object of the derived class 1? The first message that will be displayed on the screen is base class, and the second line that will be displayed on the screen is derived 1 class. So when you create the object of the derived 1 class, then these two messages will be displayed on the screen. Now what will happen when you create the object of the derived 2 class? Again, the message to be displayed on the screen will be the base class and derived 2 class. So this will be the final output on the screen. This is a simple program, a snapshot program to demonstrate how we can implement the hierarchical inheritance using C++. Next, we will see multiple inheritance. Multiple inheritance is completely the reciprocal of the hierarchical inheritance, opposite of the hierarchical inheritance. In this, you have multiple base classes and one derived class which is directly inherited from multiple base classes. As you can see in the figure below, this is the single derived class which is directly inherited from multiple base classes. So class A is directly inherited from class B, and it is also directly inherited from class C. This type of inheritance is called the multiple inheritance. So now we will see how we can implement the concept of multiple inheritance in C++. So here is a simple program to implement the multiple inheritance. So what we will do first, we will define multiple base classes. So this is the definition of the base class 1. This is the definition of the base class 2. And this is the definition of the derived class, which will be directly inherited from both the base class 1 and base class 2. So this is the first time that we will be deriving a class from multiple base classes. Hence, the header of the derived class becomes very important. Here you can see that the inheritance has been made from two base classes, and they both have been given separated by a comma operator. So colon public base 1 comma public base 2 tells you that the derived class has been publicly inherited from the base 1 and base 2. What will happen when we create the object of the base class? The constructors of both the base classes will be executed, base 1 class and base 2 class, and then the constructor of the derived class will be called. So this is how we can implement the concept of multiple inheritance. There are certain challenges which needs to be taken care of while implementing the concept of multiple inheritance. One of the challenge is the problem of ambiguity that we will see in the next slide. The ambiguity problem in multiple inheritance. Basically what happens is that the derived class is inherited from the multiple base classes. As you can see in the figure below, the class C has been directly inherited from two base classes, class A and class B, which means that the class C will inherit the features of both class A and class B. Now class A contains a member function named display, and class B also contains a member function named display. But the class C does not have any member function display which is defined in class C. So when we create the object of the class C, as you can see at the bottom, and then call the display function, it will result into an ambiguity problem. Why it will result into an ambiguity problem? Because when you call the display function using the object of the derived class, if it is not found in the, or its definition is not found in the derived class, it will look for the definition in the base class. But unfortunately, you have more than one base class in multiple inheritance, and both the base classes contain the display function. So which display function that we want to call is not clear, and hence the program will give an error, which is ambiguity error. The compiler is not sure whether to map the display function of class A or whether to map the display function of class B with the function call statement. So in the next slide, we will see how we can overcome the problem of ambiguity in multiple inheritance. So this is a program in which we try to resolve the issue of ambiguity in multiple inheritance. So here you can see that the class base 1 has been defined here, and it contains the definition of a display function. Similarly, as you can see here, class base 2 has been defined, and within it, it contains a member function display. And then the class derive directly inherits both the base 1 and base 2. And it does not have the display function defined inside it. Instead, it has a display derived function. So it is not the same as display function. So let's now move to the main function. In the line number 1, we have created an object of the derived class. And then we call the display function using the object of the derived class. This will produce an error because the display function is not defined in the derived class. And when it looks for the display function in the base class, it finds the display function in both the base classes, and hence it gives an error. The solution to this problem has been given in line number 3 of the main function. Here the display function has been mapped with the base 1 class using the scope resolution operator. Rather than simply writing object1 dot display, the line number 3 states object1 dot base 1 scope resolution operator display, which specifically means that this function call statement is for the display function which belongs to the base 1 class. Hence, there will be no ambiguity when this function call statement is executed or mapped. So I hope you are able to understand what is the ambiguity problem in multiple inheritance and how we can overcome the problem of ambiguity in multiple inheritance using the scope resolution operator. The last type of inheritance that can be implemented in C++ is called the hybrid inheritance. Hybrid inheritance is one which involves more than one form of inheritance. So that means the 4 types of inheritance that we have studied so far, if you have a type of inheritance which is a combination of any of the 2 inheritance that we have seen so far, then it is called the hybrid inheritance. As you can see here in the figure below, it is a combination of 2 types of inheritances. This is called the single inheritance, and this is called the hierarchical inheritance. So it is a combination of single inheritance and hierarchical inheritance, and hence this type of inheritance is called the hybrid inheritance. So implementing the hybrid inheritance is very easy. You can simply follow the principles that we have used to implement the first 4 types of inheritances, and the combination of that can be used to implement the hybrid inheritance. What we are actually concerned with is the multipath ambiguity problem in hybrid inheritance. Similar to the ambiguity problem in multiple inheritance, the hybrid inheritance is also faced with the multipath ambiguity problem. As you can see in the figure below, this is also known as the grandparent problem in hybrid inheritance. Here you have a grandparent class named as A, and then you have 2 parent classes named as B and C, and then you have the child class known as D. Now, if you create the object of the class D, it will also inherit the features of the base class. Now, let us suppose that you have a data member of the class A, which is known as value. Now, if you create the object of class D, it will first of all inherit the features of class B, and then it will inherit the features of class A. That means one instance of the data member value will be created. Now, because class D is inherited from class C as well, that means it will also inherit the features of class C, which in turn will also inherit the features of class A. And hence the second instance of the data member value needs to be created, which is not possible. It is not allowed to create the second instance of the class, and this will result into an ambiguity problem which is arising from the multipath in the hybrid inheritance. This is also known as the grandparent problem. What is the solution to the grandparent problem? The solution to the grandparent problem is to ensure that the data members and member functions of the grandparent class A, they are inherited or they are defined only once. So how we can achieve that, we will see in the next slide. The solution to this problem can be achieved by inheriting the grandparent class as a virtual base class. Now, what is a virtual base class? A virtual base class are used to in virtual inheritance in a way of preventing multiple instances of a given class appearing in a inheritance hierarchy. So that means we create a virtual base class or we inherit a class as a virtual base class to ensure that only the single instance of that class is created. This will become more clear when you will see the program in the next slide. So here is a program to overcome the problem of multipath ambiguity problem in grandparent inheritance. So first of all, this is the definition of the grandparent class. And these two are the definitions of the parent classes. And at the bottom, you have the definition of the child class. So this virtual keyword has been highlighted because we have not used this term before. Generally, what happens is that you can inherit the base one in base two using the public base one, publicly inheriting the base one. And then base three also publicly inherits the base one. And then the derived class publicly inherits both the base two and base three. If we do not use the virtual keyword, then there will be an error in the program as you compile it. The error will be the ambiguity problem, because there are two paths using which we can extract the features of the base class one. But because in this program we have used the keyword virtual to inherit the base one as virtual base class. Now virtual base class means that if the single instance of the base one has been created, the second time the instance of the same class will not be created. So there will be only a single instance. When you create the object of the derived class right here, if I take the help of the figure drawn in the previous slide, let's go back to the previous slide. Once we create the object of the derived class here, it will inherit the features of the base class B and it will virtually inherit the features of the class A. Now the single instance of class A has been extracted. Now we will extract the features of the base class C, which will virtually try to extract the features of base class A, and because it is virtual base class inheritance and already the single instance of the class A has been extracted, that means this time the extraction of the features of base class A will not happen. So which ensures that only the single instance of A is inherited. So this is how we can resolve the issue of multi-path ambiguity problem in hybrid inheritance or the grandparent problem. The problem is resolved by ensuring that even though multiple paths exist to inherit the features of base class A, we will only inherit the features of base class A once. It can be implemented with the help of the concept called virtual base class. How we implement the concept of virtual base class, as you can see here, the virtual keyword is used to inherit the base class as the virtual base class. I hope this topic was clear to you and you enjoyed this lecture. I request you to implement all these programs in the lab to see if you can actually understand how these errors are actually generated and then how you can resolve these particular errors. Thank you very much.